Hello and welcome everyone, my name is Madals and this is another StarCraft 2 England cast. Now guys, today I've got a ladder game. It is between Ruckus Titan, the red Protoss player in the lower right position, who's up against 80 Sage, who is of course the blue Protoss player in the top left. Now, the smart amongst us may have realised that both were Protoss, therefore we've got a PvP, a mirror matchup in store, and that means we could see 1-gate expansions, we could see 3-gate pressure, we could see 4 gates, we could see 1-gate robos, we could see Stargate play. There's literally no end to what could go down, and well, that makes things exciting. What is much more likely though is we'll see both players doing incredibly similar things for vast periods of the early game, and me trying to fill up that space until, of course, the dreaded variation in build order, which sets the course of who is likely to win and who is likely to lose. So we'll wait and see what does go down, but let's talk a little bit about the map. In Tomb Valley, it's a nice map. It's, again, mirror matchups. The map doesn't matter too much, especially in cross positions, because basically, if they are in cross positions, then everything's equal. If they're in the vertical split position, which you can get, then obviously the map can have some interesting things depending on how it goes, but to be honest, it's not a huge issue. Basically, the natural base, not too hard to take. It's relatively easy to defend this area. You just stick units here, basically, and defend your main and natural at the same time. Third base, slightly more awkward just because of these rocks, but once they're taken out, you just plant your units here and dart back and forth as needed. So really, that's all pretty much what's going to happen. You've then of course got fourth bases in the center. That's when things start getting more fun. You've also got this area, which can be quite useful if there's air units, but in this matchup I doubt we'll see too many of those. So yeah, that's really what's going down. We've got the first variation already in that we've got Sage going for his second gas, meanwhile it's the one gas for Titan at the moment. So obviously once you start seeing variations like that, you know their build orders are going to differ. Titan's getting his cybernetics core out slightly earlier. It's not a huge thing. The biggest difference basically is going to be that it's currently 2 1 workers in the gas compared to 3 there. So basically, this means that Sage will mine gas fractionally faster. He's also queuing up the workers to the gas, so he's going to be getting a lot more gas early game, and basically that just means that his tech path is going to be a lot quicker. So I'm expecting to see something like a 1-gate robo out of him. That's the most likely thing. Whereas, obviously, Titan getting his second gas a bit later, that simply means he's going to have more minerals. He's going to have probably more probes. If we take a look here, he should get some more probes. He should get his natural up slightly sooner as well. Looking here, Titan just running that Zealot in to kill that scouting probe, which he does actually manage to pick off. That's very nice. Obviously sees that all the gas is down, so I don't actually think that Sage saw that it was actually only just finished, so that's obviously a big win because won't know that there was a bit of a delay. The other advantage of getting the second gas sooner, of course, is you get a sentry out slightly quicker. Meanwhile, the 1-gate robo out from Titan, still nothing else out of Sage at the moment. He's banking up quite a lot of gas for the moment, and well, really just not really following it up with much. He's sending that probe out forward, but the watchtower held by Titan at the moment. Titan, he's in a comfortable spot, he's got everything he needs, and well, here we go. We've got a Stargate on its way out, hidden in the back of the base there, so I'm going to see a bit of airplay, a bit of air aggression, so probably Phoenix, and the most likely thing we'll see here, just handful of Phoenix come in, lift up loads of probes, zap, boom. Good early game aggression. Basically, it's harassment mainly, tries to damage the economy to put you in a good spot mid-game. Out from Titan though, 2 more gateways being added on here, so neither player going to expand for quite a while actually, which is, again, not uncommon in a mirror matchup, especially in PvP, and you just don't tend to see people try and expand too quickly just because there's so many strong 1-base pushes that can come in. You have to be a little bit safer, but we do have the Observer coming out. That's probably the most important thing. Sage getting really good scouting information with those scouting probes actually, but of course the Observer on its way across, so that's going to see everything. And as you can see, some Phoenix coming out. The first one just coming onto the field now, so obviously not going to be huge numbers too quickly. It is going to go off to the side though. Where's that even off to? Down here. So obviously that, again, just some Phoenix harassment will be coming in. The Observer should be able to spot that Stargate though, but a good number of Phoenix are going to be out before the Observer gets over there. Meanwhile, it looks like getting ready to expand here for Sage. Titan already got his natural down, so both players, it's roughly around kind of the 6-7 minute mark they're heading down their naturals, so fairly normal timings, not rushing it out or anything like that, but obviously not delaying it hugely or going for one base plays either. I think Sage is definitely going to be in the more advantageous position just in terms of the aggression, because Titan is really gearing up for some kind of stalker aggression or anything like that, getting those immortals out, really getting ready to deal with ground threats. But obviously it's the Phoenix that are going to be coming in. The Observer should be around here somewhere. Where is it gone? Just sitting there. It sees the expansion and hasn't actually gone in the base, so won't know the Stargate's there. That could be a little bit of a problem. We do have a Warp Prism on its way out for Titan as well now, who's getting up his robotics base, so really taking up quite quickly. 3 Phoenix, not a huge number, it's not an overcommitment, but we'll just be able to run in and deal some damage. May even try and pick up a sentry or two. That'd be a nice little win. But as you can see here, it just looks like quite a few probes are there. The scouting information will come down first. We've got all of Titan's units moving across the map for the moment, though. So yeah, basically that means that it's counter aggression coming in. But these Phoenix gonna have pretty much free run of getting quite a few probes picked off. Meanwhile though, Titan, he is getting a warp in. He's got a very forward pylon there, and well, the big thing is the sentries are coming over. The immortal seems to have got cancelled actually. What's going on there? There's no immortal in there for Titan, but I swear I saw one in production. And it hasn't been picked off by anything as far as I'm aware. If we look at the lost tab, I don't think enough has been lost, but here we go. We've got the aggression coming in. We've got a lot of aggression coming in actually here from Titan. The Phoenix even being pulled back, trying to deal with this Sage. He gets some good force fields down. The Zealots are able to engage very well against those Stalkers, and he's really keeping everything else back for the moment though. The Phoenix coming in, they're lifting up one of those Stalkers, just trying to reduce the potential damage. The Sentry's getting picked off as well, which I would always think would be the priority target. And well, looking here, it looks like Sage is doing a good job of being able to defend this. And for the moment we do of course see Titan going into full retreat. He's warped in some more Zealots though. That's going to be a bit of a problem. Sage getting his first immortal out now. That's going to help considerably, but there's not enough energy really to get too many force fields down for either player. But we do see that Sage able to get some good defensive force fields down at the moment. Titan really just sitting there with the 2 Stalkers. He should be okay for the moment. He's got a couple of kills out, but I'd say overall, I mean, it's tough to say, but it does look like Titan's come out worse from here. I don't think he's killed quite enough workers to really count this attack as being super successful, but I mean, this follow-up attack is actually doing very, very well, and Titan losing quite a lot of stuff at the moment. If we look at the workers killed, he only killed 4, so almost certainly not enough to justify the amount he lost there. He lost, well, roughly about 800 more resources than his opponent, but he has managed to sneak out a hidden pylon down here. Meanwhile, the Phoenix, are they still on the field? Yes, they are, 4 of them there. They can come in and just be a little bit annoying, but meanwhile, Titan getting the counter Phoenix out here out of a double Stargate, so this is really quite interesting play, and I can't wait to see how it plays out. It's obviously the air superiority fight is going to be big here, but Titan, he's going to get an awful lot of Phoenix out fairly quickly now. It's just running those back, but of course, once he gets those additional 2 out, he should be fine, and Sage is going to get shut down pretty hard in terms of these Phoenix play. But for the moment, Sage, he's also in a great spot in terms of the immortal count, and basically he's got more mortals, he's got more units on the field, he's got more sentries coming in. Only Zealots there really at the moment for Titan, and that could cause him some problems. The Phoenix coming in, but of course it's 4 Phoenix v 4 Phoenix, and Sage in a massive counter attack right now. He's doing an absolutely amazing job for the moment, but in come the additional 2 Phoenix right now. That should put the extra emphasis on the ability for Titan to engage here. He's getting more coming out, but of course the ground army is able to assist the Phoenix in the air, and basically that means that Sage is in a really strong position at the moment. He's killed an awful lot of workers. He is doing really good, to be honest. He's killed double the amount of workers of his opponent, and as you can see here, the Phoenix is really trying to be defensive at the moment for Titan and pick up some more Zealots, but more workers are getting killed. Meanwhile, there has been a counter push coming in here from Titan now, so just a handful of Zealots have been warped in, but they haven't really managed to get many kills, to be honest. And as you can see here in the loss tab, a lot more loss at the moment for Titan compared to Sage, which obviously is really, really nice for Sage. He's in a good solid spot. In terms of the worker count, he's now ahead by 4, which isn't a huge amount, but at this stage of the game can be pretty good. In terms of the workers count, double the amount killed by Sage compared to Titan, but Titan now coming in for the counter attack. He's only got a handful of Phoenix coming across, but he's still producing them from the double Stargate, which means he's going to be able to get them down very, very quickly. And really, the Stalker and Sentry numbers are starting to get a bit higher, but the Phoenix should be able to pick up a couple of those probes should they be able to get in. So again, just a couple more kills get down, only another 2, but still nothing to completely ignore. And this is really aggressive by both players. They're both being really, really comfortable in moving forward, trying to pick off, try and harass, try and deal damage, and especially the worker lines is good, but neither player overcommitting, which I really, really like. For the moment though, Sage is ahead in terms of the supply count, but this is a good little engagement here for the moment. We did have another little warping coming down there, but this has just really allowed the Phoenix to do big damage at the natural, And of course, they're able to transition straight up into the main base, but there are some Stalkers still sitting there, so these Phoenix are going to have to double back their way out at the moment, and a couple more Phoenix getting picked off at the moment, but Titan, he is doing okay. He's definitely catching up in terms of the workers killed, and has actually overtaken Sage now. So at 15 to 10 workers killed, he is now ahead in terms of the worker count by 2, so everything all getting pretty close. We do have the second robotic facility on its way down, and, well, I'm sure I didn't hallucinate, like, the robotics bay coming down for Titan early game, so who knows what's going on. Maybe I am just imagining things, but I'm sure I'm not. But obviously, a switch in the tech, getting a lot more Immortals out. He's obviously getting the second robotics facility as well now, so that's going to really allow him to produce a lot of Immortals very, very quickly. The Phoenix are going to go and cut these off, and that could get taken down very, very quickly, but it looks like they're not going to get spotted. Meanwhile, we see yet another robotics facility coming down, and, well, that takes us up to a grand total of 3 robos, which is going to allow for stupidly fast production of Immortals. But in come the Phoenix. They are going to catch up that worker difference, but here comes an awful lot of Phoenix. Yes, there's a photon cannon in there and a couple of units, but still a couple of probes get taken out. The main base is possibly a bit more vulnerable. Looking down here though, Sage, he's having a whale of a time with these Phoenix, getting great scanning information out. He has used all of their energy though, so they can't get another lift up. Looking here, the workers kill count absolutely identical, but the third base coming down for Titan, and that is of course 2/3 done. There's no expansion yet for Sage, so he's looking to go and take that shortly. But of course, in terms of production, he's got just the one robotic facility. He is getting out Blink though, and also the +1 ground weapons. Looking here though, obviously there's 3 robotic facilities out for Titan, but he's got no forge, so no upgrades at the moment, no Blink either. We do see a lot of these Phoenix getting taken down now, and of course that is a bit of a loss. The Phoenix getting pushed back from Sage's base, who does have more stuff at the moment, but the amount of time that push takes to come over, we can see an awful lot of Immortals come out, which basically means this really Stalker-heavy army could get absolutely crushed. And we are seeing, obviously, 3 Immortals being produced at a time, which really is a very, very large amount, and that firepower able to deal with those Stalkers will be absolutely massive. Sage is getting up the Templar Archives at the moment. He's also getting up just a couple more gateways, but obviously if Titan holds this third base, he's going to be in a great spot. He is ahead by 1 worker at the moment. There's still Chrono Boost coming down on all of these Immortals. The numbers are slowly getting higher, and I'll be interested to see whether these Stalkers do actually choose to go for it. Some lifts going on some of the Stalkers at the moment. A Blink goes forward, trying to pick off some of the Phoenix, but it's not going well enough at all at the moment. Some good force fields to prevent those Immortals getting forward, but I fear there may just be too many at the moment. But Sage, he's powering on nonetheless. The force fields are really being as unhelpful as they were helpful to him, continuing that push, and really it's giving Titan just more time to keep producing up an awful lot of Immortals. And if we look at the Immortal count, it's 5-3 in Titan's favour. Now, Immortal's just such big hitters, especially against those Stalkers, but a good force field goes down, and using that pylon will actually prevent them getting back too much more. A lift going down on one of the Immortals there, that is just helping him pick him off, and Titan does lose one of his own to those Stalkers. All of his Phoenix are going down, but still these Immortals doing pretty damn well. They've all got about 3 kills on them, so they're doing a good amount of damage here. In terms of the loss tab, Titan's still a bit behind in terms of resources lost, but it's not as significant as it was before. 1 Phoenix sitting there, and a Warpin has been able to go down into the main base with just a couple of Zealots, which, again, this pylon being absolutely brilliant in terms of the play, but Sage, he's got an awful lot of Zealots coming in to defend that himself, so the damage done isn't huge. That's going to be a couple of lost units for Titan as well, but it also is delayed mining time, and most importantly, Titan has managed to keep up his third base, which is absolutely critical. Titan is now also getting up his robotics base, so we'll be switching into getting Colossi out. Meanwhile, Sage getting out charged for his Zealots. He's also getting the +2 Protoss ground weapons, so that is definitely putting him ahead in terms of the upgrade. He's going to be really, really far ahead in terms of the upgrades. He's also getting out some Archons now. Archons, a good choice against those Immortals just because they aren't armored, so don't take bonus damage. And yeah, looking round, it looks like both players going to be a bit more passive for the moment anyway. Chrono Boost coming down on the gateways. We're just seeing really both players take different approaches. The Titan obviously going for the Colossi tech, whereas Sage going much more towards getting some upgrades out, and that's in terms of getting Blink out as well. There's just so many Immortals out in the field, 10 Immortals for Titan right now, which that is actually stupid amounts of damage, especially against things like buildings. If he was to go up to third and just get in there, he could pick off that third base incredibly quickly. The double forge is now coming down for Titan though. That's going to allow him to get the double upgrades and hopefully catch up, because there's only the single forge out for Sage at the moment, so some good chrono boosting could allow him to catch up. But Sage moving across the map, just taking a look at the watchtower, getting a good idea of what's coming down. The Observer obviously leading the charge to get more information, and yeah, as we're seeing, we get 3 Colossus coming out, and if this push waits too long, those Colossi are able to hit the field before it really hits, then they are going to really swing the tide of the battle in Titan's favour. Titan being quite aggressive with all of his mortals in the moment, wants to keep them spread out so they can actually engage in maximum numbers. The Stalkers being forced back still, and of course, all behind this, Chrono Boost should be going down on those robotic facilities, but they're not at the moment. They perhaps just being saved up to get these forge upgrades coming down, but they're not started yet. Here goes the 2-2 upgrades. We do, of course, have extended thermal lance. That might be getting Chrono Boosted out if I can find it, but no, it doesn't appear to be. But obviously, the first Colossus has now just hit the field. The second two should be coming down shortly. There's the second one. We should have the third as well. So now this is suddenly a much more favourable force. Force fields can also get knocked out by those Colossus, which will really help. And of course, Sage now, it looks like he's going to go for it. He's going to be able to pick up one of those Colossi very quickly. The second one falls as well. Just the one Colossus still on the field. But those Immortals doing so much damage to all of the sentries right now. And, well, this is just a big engagement. And Sage looks like he's got the better attack angle. He's blinking forward. And still those Immortals are doing good damage. The Colossus does stay up, but now gets surrounded by a lot of Zealots, and it looks like Sage is going to clean this up very effectively. And yeah, that was just beautiful play, and I think that's pretty much going to be the game. Sage is a doubled supply, and there is the GG from Titans. So that was a very bold last push there by Sage, but it paid off for him, and it did really well. So yeah, if you did enjoy the game, guys, please subscribe. I get new games up daily. Leave a cool comment, like the video, etc. Follow me on Twitter, tell your friends, etc. That would be all super helpful. But most importantly, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you tomorrow for yet another game. Bye for now.